Dude, what's going on? Hey, yeah, man. So I got my truck back. I got my truck, and yeah, we back on the road after about 3-4 days of bullshitting with Freightliner and they bullshit. But I basically just had them run through the truck and make sure everything good with the truck. The truck good, so I had them check the truck front to back, and I told them I was like, if you find anything, let me know. Fix it. Um, It's a few things that I saw that was happening with the truck. I told them to take a look at it, and they said it wasn't a big deal. According to the warranty specifications, they have to go by a spec sheet, and if they're allowed to fix it or not, according to the specifications of Freightliner. Um, they did find a crankcase breather uh, tank thing that sits off the right side of the engine. They replaced that. They found that leaking. They replaced that. I had them do a PM. Um, yeah, that's about it. Um, yeah, man. Like, let me tell y'all something. Hold on, let me pull up. I'm at the. I'm at a customer up here. I gotta pull up a little bit. You have 41 left. And man, let me tell y'all something. Um, y'all need to learn how to use Google. That's what y'all need to do. Hold on, let me handle this business real. Hey, y'all need to learn how to use Google. Um, I know some questions down in the comments, man. Y'all asking me how much a PM costs and all this stuff, man. All you gotta do is call up a shop around your neighborhood. They'll tell you. Call up Speed Code. They'll tell you. That's what I did. Before I got this truck, I called around a whole bunch of shops. I got business cards. I got engine shop phone numbers, tire shops. I rode around my neighborhood, looked for trucking industrial areas, writing down phone numbers of those businesses, calling them up. I called a couple Freightliner dealers and asked them what's their labor rate on, fixing their truck, fixing on people's truck and whatnot. I talked to a couple technicians around my town or whatever, and I talked to them. I asked them, how much it costs to fix a turbo. What are the most common things that are to go wrong with a truck? And just 2-3 minutes on the phone, man. That's all it takes. You just get on your phone and Google. You can ride around, take some phone numbers and stuff like that. Like y'all got to learn how to take responsibility for y'all business. You coming out here getting into business, like you got to learn how to do research. That's just real talk. But yeah, so it depends on where you go. Like depending on which Freightliner that you go to, a PM gonna cost you anywhere from 300 all the way up to maybe 600 or 700, depending on what you need done. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, like y'all gotta learn how to do research. So you when you coming out here getting into a truck where you're responsible for maintaining and running your truck, you need to have a game plan on what happens when you need to service your truck. You need to know where to take your truck. If you got a Freightliner, most likely you're gonna have a Detroit in that Freightliner. There's some Freightliners got Cummins. It doesn't matter. If you're going to get a Freightliner and you got a Detroit, you need to find out what are the manufacturers. Look up all the manufacturer components of your truck and look for those companies that service those components in your town. For example, I got a Fontana fifth wheel on this truck. So if I have trouble with the fifth wheel on this truck, I can either take it to Freightliner or I can take it to a fifth wheel shop. Or I don't know what they call them shops, but you can find an authorized dealer service place that services Fontana fifth wheels. Um, the axles. You need to find out the manufacturer of the axles on your truck. The braking system, Meritor. You need to find out transmission shops. Eaton Fuller transmission. You need to find out, get phone numbers for Eaton Fuller's service network, and get the phone numbers to those service um, companies. Get them phone numbers and write them down. So when you need service and you out, you know what companies to call when you need service on your truck. And of course, if you got a Freightliner or International or a Peterbilt, you're gonna go to Peterbilt. If you got a Peterbilt, just get on your phone and Google Peterbilts and call them up and say, hey, what is your labor rate, your door rate on servicing trucks? Typically I've heard technicians charging anywhere from $50 an hour all the way up to $200 an hour. So it's in your best effort, in your best interest to shop around and find out what's the door rate on a lot of these shops. There's a handful of shops that I know, that I got a couple phone numbers. Like a lot of these guys, these technicians, they don't charge by the hour. They charge flat rate based on the job. So like I know one guy, he charged $1,500 to do a turbo. There's another guy, he charged $400 to do a PM. You know what I mean? Like flat rate. It just depending on what you're trying to do. Look for some tire shops. Those tires are a very common item that needs to be replaced on your truck. It's in your best interest to find out the best tire places that works for your business. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best service, the best brand of tires in for your truck. So you want to get them phone numbers and jot them down and have them put in a notebook or something like that, so that way when it's time to go and service your truck, you just call the company up and you set up an appointment. Some of them have appointments, some of them first come first serve, whatever the case may be. But so that's just common sense, because the thing is like, you don't want to get this truck and then you get out here and then you running around trying to find somewhere to take your truck. So you want to have a little small network set up so that way you can call these numbers and you can go ahead and get your tow truck if you need one, or you can got a shop already in mind. So when you get a tow truck, when you about to get towed, you can tell the tow truck driver, say, hey, yeah, I'm going to the shop over here. You already know. Because what's going to happen is, if you get in a tow and you got a little small network going, the tow truck going to take your truck where they want to take your truck. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. You want to already have a shop in mind that what the door rate, the labor rate on service going to be before you even get there. You don't want the tow truck driver, or you don't want your company making the decision on where they want to take your truck, because then you take it in there and say the labor rate is $200 an hour to work on your truck. That's very expensive. But if you already did your research and you already got numbers down, you could probably get the labor rate down to $60, $70, $80 an hour. So yeah, so that's the deal on that, y'all. But yeah, man, I got my truck. She's good for another 30,000 miles, 30,000 miles, and we good to go. I mean, it's a lot of opinion on what intervals you decide to service your truck. You know, I'm going by the book. So I kind of skimmed through the Freightliner service manual, and it basically, the service intervals for Freightliner can be anywhere from 10,000 miles all the way up to 50 to 60,000 miles. And depending on how you run your truck, they got different intervals on when you should service your truck. So like, Schneider Finance recommends servicing the truck every 15,000 miles and doing a PM every 30,000 miles, every other 15,000 miles. So after reading the manual, the service manual, and reading what Schneider Finance wants you to service the truck, I came to the point where I service the truck every 30,000 miles, and I grease the truck every, I say every 5,000 miles. And I can typically grease the truck in about 5 or 10 minutes.